inside another dimension, face battling barbarians and evil magic on a quest for adventure in a maze of monsters. Once you get into it, you'll never be the same. Hero Quest. Now with 2 new adventure packs, the legend grows.
Hi, welcome back to Not Your Mother's Hobbies. Today we're looking at another one of the Hero Quest mercenaries, the Crossbowmen. I actually really like this sculpt. I think it's really dynamic. I like his action pose. He's grounded. He's squat. He's all bent in the right places. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to painting it, so let's just get into it. Start with our Zenithal and go forward. Alright, Basilicanum Gray for all of our steel armor parts. Anything that's going to be like a silver armor. We're doing our usual Basilicanum Gray base coat. Just getting all those armor pieces. That's the knee pads, the shoulder pads, the elbow pads, the chest plate front and back. This one, he's got a raised chest plate, so be careful not to paint the entire chest area, torso, because he does have an undershirt sticking out in the bottom. Wildwood for our pants. This guy does not have textured pants, so it's just pants as normal. Also his undershirt, which I did mention that he's got kind of like a vest breastplate kind of thing going on, so you will be able to see that open kind of belly area, so don't forget that. I did some painting here of some detail that's not in there to match the opposite hand. On that right wrist, he doesn't really have any detail up there, but I painted that in with the Wildwood anyway. Gorgrunta fur for all of our major leather parts. That's the wrist bracers, the belts. You can see he has a quiver. He's also got a pouch and stuff, and a strap holding his breastplate on. You want to get all those guys with Gorgrunta fur, or your other choice of leather. You can see up by his neck, I did not paint that area with the Wildwood. I just had forgotten. Don't forget to do that. That is part of his undershirt. But leave his collar. Leave his collar for sure, because we're going to do something special with that. Wraithbone for covering up our mistakes, because everybody makes mistakes, even me. Make a bunch of them all over the place. Sometimes I just hide them. In this case, I'm painting them over with off-white. Snakebite leather for our booties and our tacet trim that he's got going on. Got my thin brush out here. Just go around the edge, take your time, slow and steady. The grooves are there, so if you're using contrast or speed paint, it should kind of like flow on its own. So just be careful, take your time, and you can get those thin little details. We're also going to use the snakebite leather on the crossbow. So the whole body of the crossbow we're going to make wood. So use the snakebite leather on that. Also the booties. Always got to do the booties. Blood Angel's red for this little part down below in his crotch. I guess this would be like his tunic. We're also going to do something special here. We're going to use it on his collar to make it look like he's got many layers going underneath his armor. So armor, undershirt, and then below that he's got his tunic. So he's all clothed up. We got Agrax Earthshade for our tacet color. And we're going to do the tops of the boots. And we're also going to do, he's got another little piece of detail here. We're going to do the ropes for his crossbow. Just wash those in Agrax Earthshade. You could even use Skeleton Horde if you wanted. Just something kind of off brown, off yellow. We're doing Gullum and Flesh here. This is going to be a pale guy. So we're doing a kind of Caucasian pale flesh tone. So we're going to do his face, his hands. Not a lot of skin on these guys. So just the usual kind of spicy bits. And Apothecary white for his hair. In the artwork, he's got white hair, so we're going to give him white hair. Alright, we're going to start off with gunmetal, doing all of our metallics here. So all of his armor and the crossbow bolt at the tip of it, we're going to do with this gunmetal, laying that down over our Basilicanum base. You don't have to get everything. That's kind of what the cheating in our Zenithal is we can keep it to the highest point, and by using our gloss wash afterwards, right here, Null Oil Gloss, we're actually gonna blend areas that we didn't paint into the areas that we did. It's gonna give all of it an equal shine. So even if you didn't hit some of the black parts, this gloss is gonna bring it all together and make it look like it's just a gradiented, like extreme gradient on your steel. And it's gonna tie it all together without having to paint the whole thing. Then we're using our Wraithbone again as our highlights for the Tacit and the boots. And you can see here I'm using a little kind of swishing motion, right? A little swish, 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 swish. And that's to give it a different texture, right? We did that with the stippling on the last guy. In this one, we're doing this little swishing line work, just little tiny lines, ticking it in to give it a little bit of texture here. We're going to use Rakarth Flesh for the pants and the undershirt. All the Wildwood Brown parts we did, we're going to highlight with that. And you can do that same little swish, tick, 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 tick technique to give it an added texture of, you know, a different material than you normally would, right? It's gonna make it look like some kind of fabric or some kind of rough material by adding those little swish, tick, 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 ticks in. And here you can see we're doing it on the back that earlier I took so very long to paint over with Wildwood. So don't forget to do that. Do it when you're doing all the Wildwood. Cadian Flesh Tone. We are layering up our skin. This is the first color for our Caucasian skin, our pale skin. So it's back of the hands. Underneath, when it comes to skin, I do like to paint over the black. So as opposed to what I just said about the armor, when it comes to skin, I like to paint over that. I think it looks a little odd to go straight into black. I'll usually gradient it in if I want to keep that deep, deep shadow. But hey, it's up to you. You do it how you want. If you're not looking underneath the model, you won't see it. Kislev Flesh here for our next most highest highlight. And just keep that to the most like top 25% of the model, so to speak, maybe 35 or whatever. It depends on how pale you want him. If you want him really pale, you can go 50 to 60% with this Kislev and just really lighten his features up. And I think I did that with this one. I just went a little more heavier with the Kislev to make him a lot more paler. I thought it would match his white hair, having his complexion a little lighter than usual. Retributor armor. He's got a little medallion or something on his chest. It's keeping the clasp of his quiver. So don't forget to paint that. Pop some Reikland Flesh Shade gloss on there. It's hidden, so get it quick. All right, we're gonna use just Wraithbone again. No title card here because we're always using Wraithbone. So you know what it is. This is Wraithbone. Just put that over top of the strings to brighten them up. And then we're just going to do a little bit of rough edge highlighting. Just stipple some stuff on, streak it in, add texture to that wood grain. We're just going to make lines and shapes and make it rough and highlight it up. So you can start by doing an edge highlight of some areas and then just make some texture, and it'll really differentiate the wood from the leathers that surround him. Chrome now for our metallic highlights. Getting those little pops, those little pings, all the little topmost shiny bits that you want to really sparkle, shine, stand out. Make that armor really bling. Or you could even use it for adding some scrapes or some dents if you do like some streaks, some little slashes. So keep that in mind. I don't think we need to do the medallion. It's very hidden, and I didn't. So you don't have to if you don't want to, or you could. Up to you. And finally, another highlight for the flesh. We're using Pallid Witch Flesh to just give that skin an extra touch of detail, make it so that you really see the eyebrows, the nose, the features we really want to see. That face, even from far away, is going to be pretty defined by adding just an extra tiny highlight, the topmost 10%. Again, I think I wanted this guy to be a little more pale, so I went, or at least tried to, go a little heavier on it to make him seem a little more pale, a little lighter. Bold Titanium White for the hair. We've been showing a lot of this off where it's like this white highlight rimmed around the crown to give a more natural and realistic hair highlighting than just, you know, dry brush over the raised areas, the details, or whatever. Basing is normal, and Bob's your uncle. We've done it. And there you have it, the Crossbowmen. How to do the Crossbowmen from the mercenaries from Frozen Horror. Done. Look at that guy. I'm really happy with this. I like how it came out. I really like the sculpt, as I said in the beginning, so painting this was kind of a joy. To see how it would come out with all the details and whatnot. I've been really enjoying all the mercenaries, actually. Just the painting and the outcome has been really cool to see. Everybody's regimented, the different skin tones, etc. I want to point out, though, that on the red parts, I did want a little more contrast in there, so I went back in with some Evil Sun's Scarlet and just added a quick highlight on top. All the little raised bits, just boop, 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 boop on all of them, because I felt like it wasn't popping enough. It was a little too dark. Feel free to do that. I put it in the paint list description at the end. Here's a blonde guy, little blonde boy summer, and a dark-skinned guy with black hair. Again, doing that kind of Claremont X-Men blue highlight that I've been really enjoying lately. And with that, that's the end of the Crossbowmen. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments down below what you're painting on Hero Quest, how your journey's going. Have these tutorials been helpful at all if you're painting anything else? You know, give you insights or ideas. Let me know all that down below. Give me a like, give me a subscribe if you haven't, hit all the bloops. Check out my Twitch if you like game stuff, and I'll see you next time.